I have a message of good news, a message of hope that relief is here and that you're in the right place. My name is Allison Livingston, 5 Steps to Connect. And if you're here, you probably are frustrated. You have a strong-willed, deeply feeling, intense child or teen, and you're yearning for relief and ease. And like, how did we get here? Why is there so much conflict in our family? Well, I have lived through this and gotten the skills and built a framework called the 5 Steps to Connect that is innovative and absolutely changes lives. I work with hundreds of parents. So most of us are just feeling frustrated that they are giving their all as parents and they never expected it to be so hard, that they would ask their kids to do something when they're in a calm mood and their children would comply. They would do it. They would agree. And instead, they have a child that is inflexible and gets angry and is intense and has a hard time with change and battles with their siblings and has to get their way, or else they have a wingding of a tantrum and get so upset. It is baffling. So I just want to let you know you're not alone and that your kids are normal. They just have a particular temperament, or they've become a teenager or a preteen, and there's an innovative way out. So the parents who get frustrated too often have learned to respond and come from 2 different mindsets. One is rational, and they stay in this rational thinking place when they respond to their very dysregulated child. Well, this makes us miss each other, because when your child is dysregulated, they are highly emotional and they're physically in their bodies, and we're in our heads. You can see why that could be a problem. The other scenario where conflict erupts often is when we are in a yelling, super angsty mode and we are in a reactive mode, and our child is dysregulated in a reactive mode, and that's just a big mess. That's a big power struggle. So I want to bring clarity to that moment in time when I need to be right and they need to be right, and we are battling and it's a mess, or they are super dysregulated and I am super dysregulated and I'm giving them disapproval face and judging them and telling them what to do. And that just further escalates their feeling of just being misunderstood. And so they have to get double down on their angst and their upset and their tantrum and their anger. And so it just gets worse and worse and worse. Sound familiar? It did to me. So I want to tell you why I'm doing this. And it is because these kids are doing the best they can. It is their temperament. Their core fear is being told what to do. So you can see why parenting is just fraught with just being problematic, being uncomfortable. And until we learn the 5 steps and can model them, then we can do them with our children. So the first step is to meet, see, and accept your child just in the dysregulated, awful state that they are. It doesn't mean you condone. It doesn't mean that you give in and say yes to whatever they're asking for. But it's to meet, see, and accept them just the way they are. And to notice if I am in a rational or a reactive state. Deal with myself first, and then be able to meet, see, and accept them. Step 2 is to be able to validate their feelings, body wisdom, and unmet needs. The third step is to understand that their story, their thoughts and behavior is not about me, is not manipulative, is not defiant. It is about a very unskillful way for them to meet their needs. And we'll talk way more about that. The fourth is to be able to repair when we've had a big conflict, and to be able to model owning my part, validating myself, and to say what I wished I had been able to do. The fifth is the setting and holding of boundaries that they absolutely need, that is caring and necessary. It's one of our key roles as parents. And let them have whatever emotion they're going to have about it, because they are not going to like them, and they're necessary. So in a nutshell, those are the 5 steps to connect. And the big thing that we're doing is to be able to address when we are coming from a rational and or a reactive place, and they are coming from a reactive place often, and we are just missing each other, to be able to come back and connect with ourselves and ground so that we can be the sturdy parent that our kids need. Because otherwise, we will keep doing what I had done for years until I learned this, and that is invalidate and disapprove of, shame, blame, judge, criticize, compare, all the things that make them feel small and alone and even worse. And the problem with this is that they will internalize it as self-blame, that they are bad, shame. And this is what is the big bedrock of problem, is that they have big, intense emotions and behavior, and then they start to feel really, really small because what I learned, my conditioned beliefs were what my parents knew, and that was telling them what to do. And it just makes everything worse. So we need an innovative, different way to respond to them that is kind and generous and compassionate to myself, and kind and generous and compassionate to them. So I hope you will tune in, get the free coaching call to be able to see how this work can change your entire life's online courses and so many resources. Right now, I'm going to give you a quick win using the first 2 steps of the 5 steps to connect. So your child is super dysregulated. They're saying, no, I won't unload the dishwasher. No, I won't leave the park. No, you can't make me. Having a big fit. And this is mortifying. This is embarrassing. This is hard. So the first step is for myself. Wow, this is a hard moment. I don't like this. The second step is to go, oh my gosh, this is what's going on. You are really upset. I see that. There must be something going on underneath. Something must really matter to you. Can you tell me what it is? Previously, I would have shoulded them and told them and criticized them and said, you better get up or else, I would give them all this negative, invalidating attention. But instead, when I can try this, I believe you. I get it. Something's hard. What our nervous system first feels is that they are an attacking wolf. I feel threatened. So it's calm my own nervous system so that I can see that underneath their terrible behavior. So validate, this is awful, but underneath the motivation for the terrible behavior is that they are a hurting puppy. So I hope you'll try this next time your child is super dysregulated, gives you a big no, go, ouch, that's not easy to hear. And then ask them, hey, I believe you, you're upset. What do you need from me? Something matters. Tell me what I need to know. When you meet them that way, and then just give them your presence, and don't try to correct, don't try to teach, don't try to change them, because that's invalidating. See what happens. I bet you'll be happily surprised.